Hey Pokemon TCG fans, welcome to the third episode of my new series, Mix Up! And today we're going to be covering a couple different topics because the topic I was going to cover originally was actually, pretty short, so I thought I might add a little bonus. Today we're going to be covering an interesting little thing that I thought was interesting at least. Knocking out your own Pokemon by evolving. Might sound a little weird, but you'll, see what that is in the video. And the second topic I'll be talking about is make your own Pokemon placemats. Or I guess, other placemats if you want, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or whatever. But yeah, sorry there hasn't been any other videos this week. I was actually going to get some Next Destinies packs, but there's actually none left of the booster box at Alternate Universes, and there weren't any spares, so it kind of sucked. And there's actually a funny story involving that I'll tell at the end of this episode if you want to stick around. Hope I don't forget. If I forget, it's in the description, so just, or wherever it is right now in YouTube's awkwardness of changing, whatever. So yeah, let's get to the first topic, knocking out Pokemon by evolving. Yeah, this doesn't obviously happen very much, but if you have just the right amount of damage, and say the evolved Pokemon has a little less HP than your basic Pokemon, then it's going to die by evolving, because it's having less HP. Now there are a couple ways I have proceeded that this could happen. And the first one is actually pretty interesting. It's just kind of a flub between, well, no, I'll get to that one later. The first one is kind of combining old cards with new cards, like this one, say Cubone from Legend Awakened, I believe that is that symbol. I don't know the Diamond Pearl sets too well. But, yeah, as you can see, it has 60 HP. And let's look at what I believe is Fossil Marowak. I think that's Fossil. It says base set 2 right here. Who has also 60 HP, but you might say, how can you knock yourself out by doing that? Well, it's with a card like this, Snow Point Temple from, again, Legends Awakened. And basically what it says is a stadium card that says that when you play it, each player's basic Pokemon has 20 more HP. So, obviously, while time goes by, the basics get less HP, or the Pokemon get more HP, so the newer Pokemon are going to have not less, like, say, originally I think the Fossil Cubone had 40 HP, but now it's 60, so, yeah, they have to make it automatically higher HP unless because I can't knock yourself by evolving. So basically, because of base set Chansey, every single Blissey has to have over 120 HP, or I think they all have 130. I know the one in Heart Gold Soul Silver does. I think the new one Dark Rush does too, but whatever. Yeah, if you use the card like Snow Point Temple, and then say have Marowak evolve into Cubone evolve into Marowak, it will lose this extra HP that Snow Point Temple has. So Cubone will have 80 HP, but say you have 60 damage counters on it, you evolve it, and Snow Point Temple goes away. It only has 60, and it knocks itself out. I don't know. Again, I think it's just kind of funny. Just some things you might want to learn about. The next one is just kind of a flub. I say a flub between the newer sets and the older sets. It involves the fossil Pokemon, or say Kabuto. As you can see, only has 30 HP for stage 1, which is ridiculous. And him and this and the Kabutops have ridiculous low HPs, which is funny because Kabutops is a rare and Amistar is an uncommon, and Amistar has more HP, but whatever. As you can see, the old Mysterious Fossil has 10 HP, so obviously that can't happen, but the new Mysterious Fossil has 50. Sorry, voice crack. So, as you can see, if you have like 30 or 40 damage counters and you evolve into Kabuto, then it just gets knocked out by evolve. I think that's just kind of screw up by Nintendo, or Wizards of the Coast, or whatever, the Mysterious Fossil here is from Holland Phantos. I think that's Nintendo. I don't know who. Maybe it's. I don't even know who publishes it now. I think it's Game Freak or whatever. Let me see. Check the Pokemon Nintendo. Now Game Freak was what I think. Game Freak always. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know very well. So yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I just wanted to share that with you. You can come up with some fun plays like that if you want to retreat and don't have any energy. Or it could make some interesting, like, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what the next thing I want to talk about is how to make your own Pokemon card placemats. And I've actually made a couple here that I can show you as examples. The very first one I made is this one. A lot of my friends have seen this before, obviously, because I use it. And yeah, as you can see here, it's got all your essentials for the card game. Now I guess I'll tell you how you go about making this. Well, first of all, you want to cut out a big... oh, by the way, I'm aware that the Lost Zone is on the wrong side. I fixed that in later placemats. First, you obviously want to get a big enough piece of paper to hold all this stuff. I got a really big piece of paper and then cut it out. And then basically what you want to do is you want to take a sleeved card and then use it as a stencil for your pencil, or pen. If you use pens, I use pencil, and colored pencils, as you see. Yeah, and then use that as your stencil for the active spot. And I guess the bench, you could also just make like a square for the bench if you wanted to, and same with the prize cards. And of course your Lost Zone deck and discard. And then after that, basically what I did is I just looked up some images of the Pokemon on the internet, or you could use the Pokemon video games if you have them. Sorry. Look up your favorite Pokemon and write them down on each spot. As you can see, I have Shiftry for my active Pokemon because of the deck I made. And by the way, I know why that wasn't used back in the day because of Garchomp C level X, Luxray, GL level X, and Gyarados all having 0 retreat costs, which were like some of the most popular decks at the time. So I can see why it would be a really bad deck idea. So the next, for the bench Pokemon, I have, sorry, it's hard to see because I have Typhlosion. Who's that? It's Reuniclus. It's Reuniclus. Machamp. I think that's Roserade, because of the Shiftry deck again, and then Blissey Prime, because at the time I used my Blissey Prime in the Machamp deck, but I don't do that anymore. So yeah, and then for the Lost Zone, I had Magnezone. And for the deck, I had where is it? I had Kling Clang, kind of being like a mechanism for the deck. And then for the discard, I had Basculin. This was actually before Durant became really popular, or before I used Durant. So I just thought it was kind of like you dump the card into the ocean or whatever, and the Basculins eat it up. And as you can see, there are both types of Basculins there. I don't know what they're called. 2 different types. And then for the prize cards, they actually use each different type of energy, or the 6 original basic ones. And then basically, some other things I used for stencils, I also used, for some of the details, I used burn counters and coins. You can see here I have spots for all the counters and coins. But of course I don't use coins. You can use cards and stencils. And then if you want, and then, oh yes, for the trainer spot, I put a recycle. It's a supporter / stadium down there. And you can also color if you want. I like to color it because it looks very nice. I thought I did a pretty good job on this. And then I do, for the background, I put a bunch of symbols for the types. But that was really time consuming and annoying, so I wouldn't recommend making a pattern just because it took me like forever to finish the pattern. And then the last step was actually putting up the, basically I put some contact paper over it to make it less sturdy. Actually, it has a lot of rips here, as you can see. I didn't put contact paper on until later. You can tell there's a lot of rips in it. I think one time I actually got some water on it. You can tell. Can you tell? I can't. You can't really tell. It's right next to Blissey. I spilled some water on it. That's my homemade placemat, and the other one I made is actually a pretty interesting one. I like this one a lot. It's an old school one based off the Haymaker, as you can see. It has Hitmonchan as the active. There it is, Magmar, because some people use Magmar on their Haymakers. Electabuzz, Aerodactyl, not all. Since I did that last video, I know a lot of people don't use Aerodactyl in that because they use Vileplume, which is really stupid. I don't want to talk about that right now. Scyther, and Ditto, because Ditto is really easy to draw. And also some people use Ditto in their decks. And I really don't think Vileplume is a good choice at all for Haymakers. So yeah, and then for the, and I actually have a good colored pencil for Hitmonchan. I know his purple is a lot lighter. And then he had Bill here, again, he has a purple short normally for the trainer spot. Even though supporters and stadiums weren't invented when Haymaker was in its prime. And then I still used energy for the prize cards. And the Lost Zone, I didn't put a picture here just because, you know, old school doesn't really need a Lost Zone. It's just like a little box. And then up here for the deck, I put computer search with a lot of stuff, like there's a plus power, a pencil, a revive right there, coffee. Actually, that's a de-evolution spell right there. Poke Flute and some papers. And then for this card, I had super energy removal. And as you can see, there's some like double colorless and grass and whatever. That's homemade placemats. If you want to make them yourself, it's really easy and really fun. If you're good enough at drawing, I'm thinking I'm great at drawing. But you know, if you could, you judge yourself from the things I drew. That's probably some of the best things I've ever drawn. So yeah, thanks for watching this double feature episode. And next week we'll be tackling a card again. Yeah, it's again from Noble Victories. It's a obscure card that's not used at all. So I hope you guys will enjoy that episode. And before I go, I did remember, I want to tell you the story about that last, or about the booster box that ran out of cards. Well, basically, it wasn't out of cards when I got there, actually. Of course, I was at Pokemon League. That's all the time I go to alternate universes. Don't think I've ever been to alternate universes if there hasn't been like a tournament or league or pre-release or whatever. And basically, actually a really funny story. It's obviously, but I may not be telling it. And basically, I think there were three packs left in the booster box. And there were these two girls there. I think they were sisters. I don't exactly know them too well. And basically, one, I don't remember their names. I don't know them, so probably not gonna see them again. Maybe they. I don't think they ever told them their names. But one told the other to go buy 3 packs, and she only bought 2, which was, I don't know why. I think she actually got an EX. I forget which one it was. I don't remember. Maybe it was, what X's are there? Yeah, I don't remember. And then my friend actually bought the last pack in the booster box. And again, there wasn't a spare booster box. He bought the last pack, which is actually Sean, the guy in the previous video, who is psychic apparently and can tell what's in your booster pack. I'm kidding. And he bought the last pack, and there's a Mewtwo EX full art in there. Great job, Sean, you SOB. Yeah, I swear, people pull so many Mewtwo EXs, it's crazy. Like Zapdos TCG, if you see his videos, he pulled like 2 of them in his online game. Pretty silly. So yeah, if that girl just bought, if she bought 3 like she was told, I guess that sounds a little weird, but yes, told by her sister, friend, or whatever, you know, she would have a Mewtwo EX full art. And it was funny because one of my other friends was actually, he was walking up to the counter to buy it when Sean was like, "Oh, I would like the last pack, please." So I bet he's really steamed as well. He could have a Mewtwo EX full art. So congratulations, Sean, on your Mewtwo EX. So yeah, thanks for watching. Again, next week will be a analysis on a card. Once again, an obscure one, and it's going to be from Noble Victories. So see you guys then. Later. And tell me what you think of the placemats in the description.